Oh, they're leaving. I don't think they're doing AQ.
Who's that?
It's the hardcore raiding guild. I was just watching them raid. Yeah, so I'm like 99% sure this is recording properly. Craig says he's doing his thing, so
I can see you. So let's see if we can get me here.
no, I mean with Craig, like with the audio with Craig. It says recording, so that means it's recording. I'm assuming.
Okay, just so I don't have to mess with it, I'm just going to turn it on like this.
You're in game.
I am. I'm just cleaning up this dude's mailbox.
Neat. Is that on hardcore?
Yes. It's my ground.
So did you die the other day? Did I see that properly?
Which day?
I don't know. Yesterday or the day before?
There was one morning I died a few times.
Oh. So what's your highest level character? Did your main guy die?
Yeah, I was talking to some guy that was just happened to pass by me. He was in Bob's chat while Bob was doing his podcast. And I just got home from work. I was tired. There's more to that. I'll add on to your congratulations in just 1 minute. So he said hi. He was talking to me, and I went to pull those guys that drop the ears, the little
trolls,
the little rats.
Oh, the dig rats?
Yeah,
No, not the dig rats. The tunnel rats.
tunnel rats. Yeah, I went to pull one, and he was walking towards the camp, and there were 3 at the camp, and I threw my knife, and I'm just like, shit, I'm gonna pull them all, and I went, and all 4 of them came at me.
Why did you do that? Did you not run away?
No, I did. They caught up to me.
Oh.
So I tried turning around and stunning at least one and not hitting the others, but it was that wasn't a split pull kind of thing, so it wouldn't have split it. Anyway, they killed me just as soon as I started playing. So don't play tired and cranky because you do stupid things.
So you should never play is what you're saying.
We are Mere Casuals.
Well, the next morning I woke up and I wanted to catch up so that nobody would see. Did you message me, by the way?
When?
That day that you thought you saw me die?
I don't remember. Because I don't remember if that was yesterday or the day before. I haven't been feeling great, so I don't know what's going on.
Because I had a notification on my thing. You know how WoW goes orange when something's happening? So I redid my thing. Again, I was tired and I was running up to get the shimmer weed.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the trolls aggroed on me, so I went to get away from him. I got too close to a cliff and I fell down. I had enough damage that the fall killed me. It was my first fall death. I said, damn it, this is fine. So I was doing Groundhog Day and I started it back up. And then I fell asleep. And then I woke up and my guy was on the load screen. I'm like, I loaded him and he was a ghost. I said, okay. I fell asleep and he died while I was sleeping.
That's just not right.
Well,
I feel like I came close to dying once, but I don't really remember.
Yeah. See, there's a little part of me that kind of wants you to die.
Well, that's real nice.
No, but that's just a little part. A little part because it's kind of me going, why the hell am I not past 20 yet? And it's like he's up at 51, maybe 52 by now.
I'm halfway through 52, yeah.
And so I'm keeping tabs on you. And I'm just like, it's a little jealousy part, but
I feel like every time I log in and check my friends tab and you're online, you're a different level, but it's not always going in a steady direction.
I feel, given my current life situation, that hardcore is probably not the game for me.
I don't know, because I figure hardcore is a just relax and shut off your real life brain and just dive into something kind of thing.
If I could only do that.
Yeah.
So sorry, I thought you were done.
I was, but sometimes when I finish a sentence and no one immediately starts talking, words keep coming out, even though they don't really need to.
Yeah, I'm just gonna redirect now and say that my current rogue is the one after that fall asleep death, still alive.
And you're up to like 15?
No, 16, maybe 17.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good for a day. Was that all today?
No,
Or was
it's
some of that yesterday?
all today was like just a little bit of say 16. All of today was just a little bit of 15 and 16.
Oh, okay, because they say that the first 20 levels are the easiest 20 levels.
I hear different stories. I hear Rogue's the hardest character to play. I hear no, it's not. I hear that once you hit 40, you have all your tools, things will be easier. And I hear the first 20 levels are the easiest. But
Different opinions for different people.
Yeah. So this is my guy right now.
I don't know.
And,
After I hit 20, I started being somewhat careful. And then after I hit 30, I started being a little more careful. And then after I hit 40, I was like, man, I really got to kind of be serious here. And then after I hit 50, I was like, yeah, I should probably just log out whenever I see lag kind of thing. So I don't find it easier the higher having all my tools. Paladins have all their tools by like level 10. So I mean, basically, I think I'm playing my paladin essentially exactly the same way as I was at level 1. I'm popping a seal, I'm judgmenting, I'm auto attacking. At like level 8, I got my bubble, and that was nice. And to be honest, there's really nothing else. So
yeah. So I asked you a question the other day. You didn't respond. I don't remember where I asked, whether it was in game or on Discord. But I said I'm gonna need some education.
yes, and I said I would, and then I proceeded to not follow that up with any information.
I didn't even see that, or at least I don't
I
remember.
can give you maybe I just intended to say something. I've been tired this week.
Yeah.
So
well, go ahead. Be tired. I can totally understand. But this is my paladin, and so I'm looking.
We'll get into hold on. We'll get into your paladin in a second. Do you have a boar pet? Oh no, that's someone that was standing beside you. So we'll get into your paladin in a second. I should probably say a couple things before we get too far into this, because we're into the episode now. Like this is we're into it now. So I should probably point out that we sound slightly different, maybe because we are recording remotely, because we're all sick.
I'm not.
Sam's not sick, but she looks sick. And well, because you just worked a 12-hour shift. Everybody looks sick after they work a 12-hour shift.
It's the nursing shirt. You look like you were sick.
Yeah.
Or worked when you're sick. Or I don't know. I'm not making it better, am I?
No, probably not.
Don't say nursing shirt. It's a scrub top. Nursing shirts are for breastfeeding.
Yeah, they have the little flaps where you can pull stuff out. So
they're good for other uses as well.
That close to Al's face.
Yeah, that's something. Oh, we need to have cigars. So, because there's a big picture of Al's face smoking a cigar.
Yeah, I left the game for some reason. I'll get back into it.
So Al is at his house because he's sick. We're not doing video recording because I'm sick and don't feel like putting proper clothes on or washing myself. And Sam is tired because she just worked like a shift and a half because nobody showed up to relieve her.
So we are just all just sick, tired.
We're mere miserables today. So say hi, Sam, because I feel
Hi,
like
Sam.
Hi, Sam. Say hi, Sam, a little louder, because I don't know if you said that into the mic.
Hi,
Sam.
Sam.
There you go.
So that was louder, but I did hear her. So
it is. Oh yeah. We're like separate, so you can tell if we're like being way too loud or too quiet. So just say something. If we are
something.
So good job, Sam.
Damn it, you beat me.
So do we want to do, because I feel like we're probably going to be talking a lot about hardcore again, because I don't know, have we done anything else?
Haven't done any of it.
Well, you've been around though. Like we live in the same house, so you've been around. You can have input still. People like you just being here talking. Well, maybe later we'll ask you something about, I don't know. Oh, I went downstairs and I was looking for your Jonas. I can't find the box of mugs. Where's the box of mugs?
We could have.
I don't think we threw it out. Is it under the stairs or was it on the shelves?
There's one under the stairs and there's one on the shelf.
Oh, okay. I only looked on the shelves because I couldn't get into the under the
We
stairs.
have a lot of mugs.
So I
Ooh.
tried to find Sam's Jonas. Well, we're not videoing anyways this week, so no one would be able to see your Jonas Brothers mug. So, yeah. So we'll probably talk a lot of hardcore. Do you want me to give you a paladin lesson, real quick, live on the show?
Sure.
There is a YouTube channel called Josh the Paladin, and it explains how to play a paladin.
There is. I should make a video, like a
That's a
tutorial
level-
video for hardcore.
Yeah, that's a level 80 paladin, and it's gonna
Yeah.
have level 80 talents, or is Wrath
Yeah.
the Lich King talents.
I should make some paladin leveling videos. The thing is, it
Can
would
I
be
go take my pants off?
yeah. Go take your pants off and grab me a drink on your way back. Grab me
You
one
can,
of
you,
the
can
beers I
do
bought.
it, you can do it right there.
So Sam is going to the other room to take her pants off for some reason. I don't know why she has to leave the room. If she's coming back into the room with her pants on, I don't see what difference it makes. But so paladin, what level is your paladin?
16.
Oh, so it's like almost. Oh, are you just playing a paladin now? You're not playing a rogue?
No, I'm playing a rogue. The paladin I played just before I went back to the rogue. So I mean, this is like my 7th or 8th rogue.
So
I'm
pop it open there.
I'm Groundhog Daying this motherfucker like nothing.
So pop open that paladin there. Let's take a look at some stuff. We're gonna do some stuff that's gonna translate super well into an audio medium. We're gonna analyze something we can see on screen, but you can't. You being the people listening.
What I was doing, I was using this seal of righteousness and then doing judgment.
Yes,
But
you figured it out. That's the entirety of it.
okay,
So
because
pop open your talents.
I've adjusted it, by the way.
Oh, what
I
did you
start
adjust?
off with Seal of the Crusader, hit them, and then I put on the Seal of Righteousness and hit them.
Ah, so that's what they call seal weaving.
Okay, but that's right, because this will create more. The Seal of, I'll do this with words. The Seal of the Crusader will add more holy damage, and the Seal of Righteousness will cause holy damage. So I
Yeah.
figured that was only logical.
Yes, it will.
My
So
talents are all sped out. I'm in the ret.
You're in the ret tree. Yeah. So what I do, because I do a lot of soloing as a paladin, right? So in hardcore, what
You do
I
a lot of soloing.
I do a lot of soloing. So I started out my talents in the holy tree.
Holy, yeah, you mentioned that
So
because they
you got
don't do a lot of less damage.
yeah. So because it doesn't really, the ret tree is kind of terrible in classic. Hold on just a second. Okay, we're good. So you've got two options for the holy tree for your first talents. You've got strength and int.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, probably for soloing, int's better. Like you lose a bit of attack power, but that extra mana pool is big. So
Yeah,
I took strength and I'm regretting it. I kind of want to respec out of it to take the int. But you put 5 in either strength or int, and then you take that one that you're on now. What's it called? Spiritual focus?
Spiritual focus. I'm looking at that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an excellent talent because if you take 5 ranks of that, your knockback, like your chance to interrupt when you're getting meleeed, or your chance for them to knock your cast back when you're getting meleeed on heals is reduced up to 70%, which means you can just heal yourself through damage. So if you're fighting something and you're getting to that point where you're down to half health and you're like, I'm going to need to top up before this fight's done, you can cast your Holy Light and you can top yourself up to full. You're not going to get interrupted. You can do it in less time than you would if you're getting knocked back every melee hit. It's just such a convenient talent in hardcore when you're trying not to die. And then I took 11 talents in Holy because I took consecration. The only thing I really use consecration for is when I'm tanking dungeons with Bob. In your regular everyday life, when you're just fighting 1 or 2 mobs at a time, consecration is just a huge waste of mana because it doesn't do much damage and it uses a ton of mana.
Yeah,
But
I noticed.
if you're planning on like AoEing stuff, there is an AoE build you can do as a paladin in classic, but I wouldn't recommend you try it. Unless you're going to be doing dungeons and want to have that little extra aggro, I wouldn't bother taking the consecration because, I mean, it has very limited use. So after you get the 10 points into holy, then I start taking ret. And I go for like the reduced mana cost for stuff and all the way up through the crit and the extra 2-hander damage and stuff.
Well, that makes sense. So in classic,
Uh-huh.
they're not good tanks from what I hear.
They are perfectly fine tanks in dungeons.
But they have no taunt.
They have no taunt. That's right.
So in a lot of the death clips that I see, when people pull off the paladin, then there's going to be a scattering because it's hard for the paladin to pull them back.
Well, here's a tip. If you're in hardcore and you have a paladin tank in a dungeon, don't pull threat off the paladin. Like, it's just that simple. Just don't do it.
If it hurts when you raise your arm, oops, sorry. I don't know if you heard that. I didn't. But if it hurts when you raise your arm, don't raise your arm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, I mean, if all you've got is a paladin for a tank, just use the paladin as a tank. They've got pretty good AoE threat with Consecrate and Righteous Fury up. And they've got decent single target threat with their, again, Righteous Fury and whatever seal they're using that pops off holy damage. I mean, paladins are fine. I mean, in classic, paladins they're a healing class. Like, that's their role. Like, if you level up to 60 and you want to raid, you're going to be a healer.
I don't know. We had a pretty decent ret paladin in our classic guild.
Oh, yeah. He definitely was there often. And yeah,
the poor guy, if he ever listens to this.
Hey, it's his own fault for playing a ret paladin in classic and taking a legendary for himself.
Who?
Our ex-guild leader.
Oh.
We're gonna Evidar this question with all post haste.
You're not even trying to not say names anymore. But yeah, no, paladins are healers. Like, you take your paladins are really good endgame healers in classic, and they're not good at all melee DPS, and they're not ideal for tanks because they can't taunt.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're a paladin, you're a healer if you want to raid. That's all.
I can see why, because they have spells like lay on hands. As a holy man, you have to know what to do with your hands.
Yes, you lay them on.
I was going to make that joke so much worse, but decided not to at the last moment.
I took a drink and paused because I was expecting you to keep going with that, but you didn't, so that's fine. What are your thoughts on paladins and classic, Sam?
They're fine.
How you still got that level 11 paladin that we were playing together?
Mm-hmm.
We should play that with Al's level 16 paladin. We have like a paladin 3-way.
Woohoo!
Hardcore 3-way on the internet.
Yeah.
Is this the same mace that you bought from Antonio?
What's it called?
Heavy spiked mace.
Possibly. Is that where it says it comes from?
That's where. No, I bought it actually in Loch Modan, but Antonio does sell it.
Then yeah, possibly. I feel like it was called. No, I'm looking at the model of your guy there. That's the one. I'm pretty sure. I thought it was higher level than that, but I don't know.
There is a higher level one, but I think it had stam and not strength. I'm not entirely sure.
So out of curiosity, how many rogue deaths are you up to now?
I don't know. I've lost track. I'm gonna say anywhere between 5 and 8.
That's a big range for you to not know.
Well, some of them happened while I was sleeping.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Okay, so I have my first.
You should. Do you record? Do you record yourself while you're playing?
Not all the time. I kind of gave up with all my deaths.
Oh, well, that's why you record. You got to submit those to the hardcore deaths.
Are you kidding? I feel like such an idiot sometimes.
That's the point. People can laugh at it.
So I had my first and second that I remember for sure. And then the other one that died at 20 was my third.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had another one going, which died stupidly on that pull that I just told you about at the beginning. And then I had the 2 that I did in the morning. So I am now on number 7. So I've had 6 deaths.
Oh, that's a few.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's less than 8. So you got that going for you.
Yeah. I've not lost the paladin yet. Oh no, I did.
Yeah, you did. I was gonna say, what are you talking about? You did.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, I've not lost. Oh no, the other guy, my bank tune's a paladin. Damn it!
This cup smells funny.
Now, unlike other players, I tend to help other ones out.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I've wasted many an hour running dungeons that I'm too high level to really benefit from.
Oh no, I mean if I see somebody about to die, I try and intervene.
Oh yeah, I intervene too. Like as a rogue, what do you even do as a rogue? How do you intervene as a rogue?
I hit things and kill them.
I suppose, yeah. But then you're putting yourself in danger.
Yeah, well, I was going to use that as an excuse, but I didn't actually die doing that. So,
yeah, you just die on your own of your own issues.
The thing is, everything that I've died from, they're just stupid little mistakes. So
yeah,
I'm kind of happy about that, sort of, because I see it happening, going, "This is completely avoidable," as opposed to just some fundamental issue I'm having. It's just stupidity. I'd rather be stupid than fundamentally bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing, I guess. I'm trying to bring up. I'm looking for news right now while you're talking, so you keep going.
I've done some notes on the news, but
have you done notes?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Keep going. I wasn't meaning to like transition straight into the news. I was more just trying to get ahead of it.
If I lose my rogue, I'll probably just switch over to this paladin. This paladin is sitting in here waiting for some help because the rogue. I just passed the same spot with the rogue. I went into what's that dangerous Crocolisk area? Oh wait, I can just read this.
In wetlands? Oh, yeah. The island?
Yeah, I can sneak through the entire thing of the wetlands with my rogue. This guy, it's got the skip thing. I don't want to do the skip.
Why not?
I don't know. It looks overly complicated.
You just go to a certain spot and camp out and then log back in and you're somewhere else.
No.
What skip? Well, what skip are you talking about?
You got to go over a mountainside and you got to swim through waters and avoid the crocs.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like a log out skip.
No, not a log out skip.
I can't actually. Oh, you know what? I'm going to make your screen bigger. Let's see. Okay, watch the video guide for reference as how to do the skip first. Do the Dead Mines Dunmorrow wetland skip.
Deathless is Dunmorrow wetland skip. Avoid the wetlands Crocolisks and Murlocs.
What did I say? Dead Mines? Yeah, Deathless. Yeah. Dunmorrow wetland skip. Avoid the wetlands Crocolisks and Murloc. So you swim somewhere?
Yeah, you go over the mountain and then you got to swim. So, you know when you're in Menethil Harbor? I got that right?
I've been there before, yeah.
Is that the one that's in the wetlands?
It says right there on your guide, yeah.
Yes, it does. Okay. So, when you're in Menethil Harbor and you cross the water to face the Murlocs?
Yeah.
So, turn yourself around. Those Murlocs are on your left.
And do
you do the hokey pokey first?
No, you got to do that after you turn yourself around.
Oh, okay.
Or no, you do that before you turn yourself around. So the Murlocs are on the left. You got Crocs swimming on your right. And you got to wait until at least one of the many Crocs goes. So
there's Crocs to the left of you, Murlocs to the right, and you're stuck in the middle?
Stuck in the middle with me. You got to wait until at least one of the Crocs kind of zones out. I forget what the word is. It was just in my head yesterday. But when it's out of view.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
But you got to tag like the other ones. But it's. I mean, if you do it right, I guess it's not much of a risk.
Seems like a hassle.
There's also a lot of spots where you're dropping down off the side of the mountain. If you don't do it right, and hit the wrong side, you're going to get some fall damage, possibly a fall death.
Ugh.
And
fall is the worst season to die in as well.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say we're coming up to it.
Is it not fall yet?
We are in fall.
We're in fall now.
So
didn't it start on the 20th? I think it's officially fall. It's fall season.
21st.
You're excited it's fall, eh?
I like fall. I mean, I hate winter, so it's unfortunate that we've moved out of summer because that brings us closer to winter. If we could move out of summer and just kind of stall in fall and stay there until spring and skip winter, that would be nice. There's got to be somewhere you can live that just skips winter, right?
You don't like hot.
No, that's why I want fall. Is there like a all season, like year round fall place that you can live? That reminds me, there's Discord questions.
I know.
And my phone is like video, so we can see, so Al can see us. So you're gonna need to bring up the. I know. I'm just saying. That can be your job this episode, to read the Discord questions.
It's always my job.
I know. You're good at reading. Did you get some food?
No,
You should grab some food.
I already ate.
The Canary Islands off the coast of Spain.
Really? It's just fall all year there?
What are the countries with autumn fall weather most of the year?
Oh, you actually Googled that. Neat.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
and,
Let's move to Spain. Do you want to move to Spain?
I'll go to the Canary Islands.
Well, we weren't inviting you.
Sam just seems generally unimpressed at this point.
An invitation from you does not change my desire to the fact that I would go to the Canary Islands.
So he would follow us to the Canary Islands, is what he's saying.
I didn't say I'm going. I said I would go. But now that you bring it up, no, I probably won't go. I can't afford it anymore.
Probably cheaper.
So
Here.
a little more hardcore talk before we get into the questions in the news. So as I approach 60, and will eventually get 60, I'm certain of it. I don't think I'm going to die. So as I approach 60, I start to ask myself, what am I going to do when I hit 60? Do I want to run dungeons? Do I want to try and raid? So I've been watching. Oh, my phone's ringing. Hold on.
Who is it?
I'm assuming it's Oliver.
Oh, he's not home?
No, he's at KYO. Hello? Hold on. Okay, hello?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm just calling to let you know I'm on my way home.
Okay.
I'm just walking from Sherbrooke.
Okay.
Tell her to say hi.
Plan?
What's that?
What's the dinner plan?
I made some hot dogs. So there's some hot dogs and there's some broccoli. And if you want anything else, there's that hunk of end meat in the fridge that you got the other day. Basically, I made hot dogs and then whatever else.
Okay.
All right. See you when you get home.
Like Roper now.
Oh, okay. So you'll be home in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
You're making
All right.
me do that on purpose.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I'll see you when you get home.
Okay.
Bye.
You're upside down.
How's it upside down?
Yeah, I don't know why it's upside down now. Why is it doing that?
You put it on upside down. Oh, you're right side up.
There you
So when you said there's that hunk of, I thought you were gonna say that hunk of steel we call a stove, and you can make something.
go. No. I already made. I boiled hot dogs. I
Ew.
boiled hot dogs for a really long time though, and like you know how when you overboil hot dogs they like really swell up.
You know what's really gross? That they're still just sitting in the hot dog water.
Yeah.
They not only
It holds
just
the
swell up,
flavor.
but they've
Yeah.
absorbed a lot of water into the hot dog.
I like it like that. I like a nice soft hot dog.
I don't.
The vitamins, the
hot.
hot dog vitamins are all in the water. You can drink that water for extra. It's like a hot dog broth.
I don't think I was talking.
Excuse me for a minute. I just want to throw up.
You gotta
in this
talk
cup.
louder, Sam. What'd you say?
Nothing. It was inappropriate.
What'd you say, Sam?
It was inappropriate.
People want to know what you said, Sam.
I'm not repeating it.
People will like rewind and turn up the volume and isolate your audio and figure it out.
Pump up the volume. Pump up the
So what
volume.
was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about like hitting
It
60.
tastes like
60.
floor cleaner
So do you not like that one?
with
Is
a
that
hint
lemon?
of rubbing alcohol.
Why do you drink floor cleaner with a hint of alcohol?
She's drinking neutral vodka beverage. Is it the lemon flavored one?
Yeah,
Yeah, most lemon flavored drinks taste like floor cleaner.
I should have just got the pack of 12
Why didn't you?
because you judged me.
I didn't judge you.
You don't sound
said
like you
go
like
ahead.
it.
I don't like the lemon one. I like
She liked the cherry one and whatever her friends
The peach
gave
one
her
was
at the
good,
child's
and
birthday party
the-
she was at.
grapefruit one was good.
Why didn't you get those? You should have just gotten those. So I was saying before I got somewhat interrupted, that I've been watching. Did I start saying that I've been watching? I've been watching the raids. I've been watching the Frontier raids.
Ugh.
and they are so sketchy. Like the thing is, I think my exposure early on to Frontier was a certain other podcast host joining the guild and being like, these are the premier hardcore raiding guild. And he joined and he's like all excited. He's like, I might get to raid with them someday and all this stuff. He's still not 60.
No.
So I'm thinking, like, I'm going into this whole hardcore thing, kind of watching them, thinking they're the top of the top. And man, I watched their raids and they're iffy raids. Like some of them, like their 40-man ones, when they get to something really hard, like I watched them do Blackwing Lair today. And when they got to like the hard bosses, they kind of pulled it together and they didn't have any deaths. So it's like they seem to be able to kind of pull it together when they really need to. But watching like their 20-man raids in particular, like ZG and AQ20, man, those are iffy raids. And they're constantly having people die. And it's always like just this stuff that could be avoidable. And nobody seems to really be in charge. And nobody seems to really be prepared or listening. I shouldn't say nobody, but like I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting because I haven't watched a lot of hardcore raiding in the past. So I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting what I've been seeing.
Well, I watched an AQ20 and other than one of the tanks going in and getting one shot at the beginning of what I call the last boss, but in most cases usually the second to last boss.
No, it was on trash. It wasn't even on the last boss.
No, he was on the last boss.
They were in the last boss room.
Okay, we're talking about different things. I'm talking about a tank.
Mhm.
Warrior went up and he aggroed, the guy that you hit the little pyramid things
Yeah,
to make it weak to something? That's a boss.
I know that's a
not-
boss.
And
the
it was
clip
him.
I saw was they were pulling the trash in that room, and one of the tanks popped out and got meteored.
Okay, so yeah, I saw that one too. I thought that was a hunter for some reason, but he was
Maybe
on
it
a
was
mount.
maybe it was a hunter. I don't know. It was on a mount. I couldn't tell. But yeah, so they have multiple deaths. It's just it seems like every day somebody's dying, and it's like wow.
Yeah,
I expected more.
I'll
from
take
them.
your word for it. Actually, I believe that was probably a tank going to grab aggro.
It might have been now that you say that, it might have been a hunter. I don't know. It's not important.
They were talking about a hunter at the time when that one happened.
It might have been. I don't
that
know.
that was after this. So when they went, is it Osirian or Osiren? I could look it up here, I guess.
That's the boss. It's one of those.
Yeah, but when he got aggroed, when he was pulled, I should say, the tank got caught in a gust
Yeah.
of wind, and then he got hit, and he was like dead right away.
Yeah.
And then I watched them do Blackwing Lair. I was a little bit impressed, given the troubles that we've had with Blackwing Lair. I was like, this is kind of cool. And I did it because somebody said, I was watching another raid, and somebody said, oh, should watch their raids. This guy Ampy is kind of toxic, because I think Ampy is the one that runs it.
He's their leader. Yeah.
But I was watching it, and I didn't watch all of it, but I did not hear anything toxic. I heard assertiveness. I've heard decisiveness, but I didn't hear toxicity, and I didn't watch all of it. But they got things done. They were wiping things out, and they probably, as you mentioned, they probably had a good raid composition, unlike us taking the ragtag cruise. But
Yeah.
they were swimming through that thing.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
don't know.
watched them do Blackwing Lair today. You must have watched last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was good. I have my opinions on Ampy. He seems to have. You don't have any opinions. You just stated an opinion. What do you mean you don't have opinions?
I stated somebody else's opinion, and I stated what I didn't see based on that opinion.
Wouldn't that be your opinion?
I don't know him enough to really have a
The
good
counter to it?
opinion.
Well, you watched a raid. I don't know. But like, sorry, I keep coughing. I'm mild.
I will do too.
So, like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I think part of it is the fault of the fact that it's 40-man raids, because it's tough to get 40 people to all behave themselves at once. But I think Frontier is also like 80%, maybe even it's 100%, just streamers all like together in one raid, all kind of like
Performing for their
engaging
audience.
with their own, like, yeah, they're all little like performing, like all like little dancing monkeys performing for their audiences. So on these raids, I've got Twitch open and I like swap between different people streaming the raid, and they're all kind of just there for themselves, is what it seems like to me. I don't know. And the leader, he's got his stream going, and it is mildly toxic. Like, there's a lot of like, when somebody dies, it's like, who are you blaming? And a lot of like, I think it's mostly his viewers though, or his chat or whatever you call it, that's like pulling these comments out of him, because it's like, who are you blaming these people? Are you blaming this person? It's this person, right? This person's to blame, right? And it's all like Twitch chat is terrible. Like, watching these raids, like, oh my goodness, we're like reading the Twitch chat of these streamers on these Frontier raids. It is the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. Like, seriously, I don't know where these people crawl out of the woodwork, but wow. Yeah, and well, they're watching WoW. They're watching WoW, but WoW is all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I think when I was watching the one that I was watching, I got up to Firemaw. But I was impressed even with Valestraz. Yeah. Valestraz the Corrupt.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they got through that without a death. Wasn't there like a guaranteed death at some point?
Well, I don't know exactly what they do, but there's a little thing they take advantage of. When you get the debuff, you drop raid and Hearth. And I don't know why that's a thing or why it works, but it's what they do. And it seems super cheesy to me. But I mean, it's hardcore and you got to avoid dying. So, But like,
you would think that this is something that WoW would have adjusted, because they've adjusted quests that if they would have killed you, they don't kill you anymore. They've adjusted quests that if they tagged you as PvP, they don't tag you as PvP anymore. They could have adjusted Valestraz to cause a certain amount. But what I think happened is, because remember that one pandemic that happened in WoW, the historic pandemic?
yeah.
I don't think they allow any effects to come out of the dungeons.
Oh yeah, and it's an effect that blows up everyone around you. So maybe WoW put something in so that bomb doesn't explode if you Hearth out, and they're just exploiting it, and they drop raid and Hearth.
Now, that being said, somebody somewhere found something they pulled out of a dungeon, and they were taking it to a city, and they're killing low-level bankers.
Oh, the new grief thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a curse in...
I want to say Shadowfang.
There might be one in Shadowfang. I feel like there's two. I feel like there's two different places you can get a curse that does this. And when the curse wears off, it summons something that can aggro on people, and they're using it to aggro people in like Stormwind. Apparently, It doesn't work as well in Ironforge because of the guards.
Yeah, I don't think it's a very high level thing, but most of the bankers are level 1. So,
but can you imagine if they didn't, like, if the bomb still went off when you Hearthed from Valestraz? Like, you take that and you Hearth the Stormwind and you just run to the auction house and blow up? That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
But you know what? Here's my thing. I play a paladin, and the WoW community was outraged at the thought that once an hour I could bubble and then Hearth if I wanted to. Just absolutely outraged by it. Like, there were people with pitchforks marching down the streets saying, how dare paladins have the ability to avoid dying in an extra way on top of the 3 or 4 ways they already have to avoid dying.
You know what I heard?
They be able to bubble and then Hearth?
You know what I heard?
What?
When they were walking down the street with the pitchforks, they actually ran into the people that were heading towards Dr. Frankenstein's house, and they diverted some of them because it was so outrageous.
Oh, it was so outrageous.
Every
All of the
time.
Frankenstein pitchfork people joined the party. They joined the parade. Like, it was a crisis. Like, it was a... Oh, man. I tried to back away from my microphone
Why did you
to
pull
cough,
your mic
and
in?
my sleeve is caught to my...
Bring your plate.
Just hold on a second.
They're like,
Yeah,
paladins?
the Frankenstein people joined the parade,
Yeah.
and
They're
they
like,
were marching
paladins?
down the street.
He laid his hands on my child last week.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. So why can't Blizzard say you can't Hearth while in combat in a raid? Can you Hearth while in combat? Oh, you can. Yeah, you definitely can.
Yeah. It's
Maybe-
it's interruptible, but you can.
maybe like the fact that people have the ability to cheese their way out of deaths with hearth in ways that don't involve bubble, get rid of that too. Make it so you can't hearth during a raid encounter. I want to see people die more often than I already do. It's the cheesiest way to do that encounter. To drop raid and hearth so that it undebuffs you.
Ooh.
Like, aren't there other ways to remove it? Can't you like bop people?
Yeah, you would
But
think
that would
so.
involve their paladin healers paying attention and actually doing something. Which, as some of the deaths this week have indicated, their paladins are not capable of paying attention and doing something.
Oh, I'll have to see some of that.
Well, I mean, did you see there was a couple deaths. There was the Crix death. Did you see the Crix death?
I did.
He could have been saved by Bop if the
Yeah.
paladins had been paying attention and did something. Because
Yeah.
he had aggro for a solid 3 seconds before it smacked him.
Yeah.
That's more than enough time. If you've got like a mouse over macro for Bop, you could do that in like a half second. And one of the tank deaths, there was a tank death in Nax, I believe, on Trash. Was it on Nax? I think it was on Nax Trash, where the raid leader called for an AoE tank for one of an AoE taunt from one of the tanks, and the tank AoE taunted, and just nobody did anything, and the tank just died from the aggro.
I think I saw that.
It was like Chill Cow or something.
What,
This
what
is what I'm
raid?
talking about with what raid? I think it was Nax.
Okay.
Like, this is what I'm talking about with the raids being kind of sketchy. Like people are dying for silly reasons. Like when they have to really like get it together and do a hard boss like Firemaw and Nax, not Nax, and BWL. Like, that was a raid that in our crappy guild that couldn't concentrate well enough to even kill Trash without wiping.
Yeah.
Like that raid took us like all night to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to like duck around and drop your stacks of the debuff, and you'd have to not get hit by the AoE. You had to use line of sight, and that's just a baffling thing for some people to do. Like, people in our raid just couldn't handle it. They just stood in and just died. And
When I watched that one last week, they had the line of sight well. They tanked them right at the door, and they killed them, and nobody died.
Well, yeah, that's the idea when you're in hardcore. You kill people and nobody dies.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that any issue there.
But the thing is, I'm watching, and I've made my choices. Like, I scroll through the streamers in this guild, and I've kind of picked my favorites.
Ooh.
And
Sure.
well, I was watching Ompi, the raid leader, but I mean, it's just not exciting. Because he's the tank, so you always get the tank point of view, which I don't care about the tank point of view. The tank point of view is like staring at like a close up of the boss most of the time. Like, it's boring.
That's true.
And I don't know. He's kind of dry. What is that?
Vodka.
Oh, drinking the vodka.
I just had
You know
vodka.
what
with
I
the-
found at the liquor store?
What did you find at the liquor store?
40 That's gross.
Tell us about your 40 Creek.
40 Creek, and it's butter tart flavor.
Wow, that
I've
sounds
seen
I
that.
don't know
cool.
what you would drink it with.
I would just drink it, just a glass of it on its own.
with butter tarts.
Just dip your butter tart in it and then drink it after.
I don't like floaties in my drinks.
Well, just
So-
you strain it. I don't know.
So way back when I was working at 7-Eleven, we got this drink called Orbit.
Yeah.
that's gross.
Like the gum?
it has like little bubbles in it or something.
yeah,
Like bubble tea? You love bubble tea.
No, but I don't get the tapioca balls. If it pops
you
in
get
my mouth,
You get the chunks of candy.
yeah.
That's
you
still
don't like things
floaties.
popping in your mouth.
No.
No, she's not a fan. Okay, so I was trying to tell a story and we got sidetracked somehow. Was it you that
That's a
did it or
shocker.
Al? Oh, Al was holding up his bottle. That's right. So yeah, I wasn't a fan of Ompi's stream. Not a fan. And so I basically, and like there's some other people like in the raid. Like I was watching Crix a bit until he died because I like Crix. Crix is good.
Yeah, you were
And-
on a show with him
Yeah, yes, I was right before he died.
right before he died.
He was talking about how much fun he was having with hardcore, and then I was watching raid like a night or two later, and he died, and I was like, oh no. It was such a sad death too, because it was completely
Mustard?
preventable.
Yeah, I was
Um,
looking at his face. He was completely disappointed.
Yeah, so I've settled on this guy, Mitch Jones, which
Oh, really?
it seems like he's in a whole. Hear me out, because I know you obviously know who he is, so you're immediately judging me.
I don't know. I don't have an opinion of him. Just hearsay. But
You don't have hearsay. Oh, so all you've got is a hearsay. Okay, so that's
Yeah,
good.
so
That works.
it's the hearsay that makes me think that he wouldn't be the type of person you'd watch.
Well,
No, I might have
that's
to
why. That's why, because he's a joke, right? I don't think he's a classic player. I think he's like a retail PvP or something. I don't know how he started, but basically he's got a reputation of being like what is he doing here? He's gonna suck. Like, why is he in this raid? He's clearly just a joke. Like he's got this stream and he's not gonna take anything seriously. But so I'm watching from his point of view, right? And I'm watching him and I'm like, okay, this guy is actually trying. He's not the best, but he's actually trying, because I think he's a little out of his depth here. Like, I don't think he's done this before, from what I gather. I mean, I don't know much about him, but it seems like this isn't his thing. But he's putting some effort in and he's actually trying, but everyone's still treating him like a joke. And it's like, okay, and I'm kind of enjoying his point of view, because he's not one of these guys that's done this raid 1,000 times before. So like I was watching like on oh, sorry, I keep losing my voice and coughing because I'm got throat issues.
That's okay. We can edit it.
So I'm watching like today, I was watching the Fire Maw kill, for example. And clearly this guy hasn't done this raid very often, because he's doing his DPS and he's a frost mage for some reason. Maybe it's a resist thing for BWL. I don't know. But he's in there as frost. And he's just he's firing off his frost bolts and he's building up his stacks of the debuff. And after a while, you're supposed to duck out and you're supposed to let the debuff drop off. And then you come back in, and it's like a 15-second debuff or something. So he gets up to like 6 stacks, and he's like kind of like talking to himself, and he's like not really sure what he's doing. So he ducks out and stops firing his frost bolts off, right? And you can tell the whole time he's not shooting frost bolts. He's like, oh, I'm not doing DPS now. I should be doing DPS. I'm losing my ranking on the meter. So he waits almost the entire duration of the debuff, right? And when he's got like 4 seconds back on it, you can see he's finally he can't control himself anymore, and he ducks back out and starts firing frost bolts, and he gets another stack of it when he's at like 1 second. So now he's up to 7, and he's like, oh, I just wasted all this time. And it's funny, because you could tell he's trying, but he doesn't really know what he's doing. And his chat is the most toxic, annoying thing I have ever seen in my life. Like it's terrible. And he's got like 20,000 people watching him during these raids, and they're just spamming him with stuff. And people are like constantly lying to him and like telling him like, oh, you need to do this. And like, he's like, what? And he's getting all confused. And even his own raid members, like people in his raid, are like trolling him in voice chat and being like, oh, what, like, did you not do this? And he's like, are you serious? Like, am I supposed to be doing something? He's like all confused. And
yeah,
I don't know. I find it amusing, because like he's clearly out of his comfort zone and trying, but nobody's taking him seriously, and I just find it hilarious.
Yeah, I've heard some of that actually.
I enjoy him a lot more than I enjoy the more
seasoned pros.
The serious / condescending group. Like, there's a bunch of people that think very highly of themselves in that raid. And it's like, you guys are just kind of annoying. So I don't know. I latched on to the most annoying person in the raid and find it kind of, I don't know, what's the word?
Refreshing. Kind
of refreshing that that this guy clearly has no idea what he's doing. And I'm rooting for him, right? Because like I'm like, man, this guy's gonna get himself killed, because like I don't know how he hasn't yet.
Yeah, he'll be the survivor.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm like rooting for him, because I'm like, there's a couple people in the raid that I like actively am rooting because I want them to die.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
I'm thinking of the 100. Cockroaches always live.
Who said that? I don't remember.
It was It was the guy with the dark hair that was always like against them, then with them.
Oh, Murphy.
Murphy, thank you.
I remember him. I liked him.
Yeah, well, he kind of reminds me of Murphy a little bit in that whole scenario, where he'll be the one that survives. He out survives everybody there, I bet.
Well, yeah, because I was kind of like with him, I was rooting for him, and then he'd do something stupid, and I'd be like, "Oh man, this guy's an idiot. He's a jerk. I don't like him." And then by the end, he like had like this whole redemption arc, and he was like,
I gave
He's
up
supposed
on
to
the
be a
AI
s-
shit.
"Oh, I didn't finish the series, but I stopped watching the season where there was like the prison ship." I don't know what was up with
Were
that,
they
but I
not
didn't.
the prison ship?
Who?
What? Is
No.
that the whole reason they went to Earth? Because they were
No,
in
they
jail?
were like they were up on the survival arc thing, right? But they were the delinquents, so they got sent down as a test.
The
But in
young
like
delinquent.
season 5 or 6 or something, there was another ship up in orbit that was like a prison colony ship for
Oh.
some reason, full of like hardened criminals that nobody knew about for some reason. That just
Well, wasn't it further back in time that they went up?
was it? I don't know.
They were in suspended animation
Maybe. I don't know. I just that season lost me. I don't think I finished that season.
because the 100, the original cast of 100 were real time life kind of thing. They went up to space, they grew up in space, they came down. None of them were in suspended animation.
No, they were all born in space.
Yes, but that prison ship was suspended animation, so I'm going to say they were from a past.
Was
So
I,
that's why-
that's possible. That season totally lost me. So
Did you
I didn't
know
I didn't really
that
I
the
don't
person
remember.
who played Clark and the person who played Bellamy are married in real life now, and they met on the show.
Really? I didn't know
That's
that.
Kind of
They
cool.
met and fell in love on the show.
Neat. So I was saying
Bellamy
some-
is also
what
in
was I
an
saying?
episode of The Rookie.
Episode of the okay. I didn't watch that show either.
Which episode?
The one when Lucy goes undercover for the first time, and they catch Lafayette, or whatever her name is.
Okay, I'll have to watch it again because there was a time where I saw somebody that I thought I recognized that could be it. I'll go back, but right now I'm watching Stargate Atlantis over again.
Again?
It's a good show. I
Hmm.
want to recommend it to you, but you don't like the shows I recommend to you. I mean, you do like them, but you don't like to believe you like them.
What does that mean? I've tried
Well-
watching Stargate. I wasn't a fan of Stargate. I've watched some other shows. I
Stargate
watched
Atlantis.
Dark Matter.
is
I liked
the-
Dark Matter.
Dark Matter was good. Stargate Atlantis is the second iteration of it, and it's a little more advanced.
I've seen episodes of it. I didn't particularly enjoy it.
Try
I'm allowed to not enjoy things.
try Ahsoka.
Try who?
Ahsoka, the new Star Wars one.
Star Wars lost me years ago.
I watched a
one-
really good episode of Strange New Worlds. I actually liked it.
Strange New Worlds is
You
good.
liked a bunch of the episodes.
I really liked the one we watched last night.
The thing is,
Was that the
Ahsoka.
charades one? Those charades, right? Yeah.
Ahsoka feels different than the other Star Wars shows, and actually opens it up to new opportunities. Going
Yeah,
forward.
but you know how when there's a franchise or an IP or some sort of like cinematic universe or television universe, there's things where hold on. Where you give them chances and they repeatedly underwhelm you and eventually you just give up on them and it's really hard to then open back up to it.
okay,
like,
so
This has
Spoiler
lost me
warning.
so repeatedly that I can't get back into that universe because I don't care anymore.
spoiler warning in case anybody's listening to this and they're not up to date on Ahsoka. Brief pause for people to leave the chat. So one thing that I didn't pick up on like I know what they're doing, but I didn't realize. But other people who are into Star Wars were telling me, but they're going to a different galaxy. They end up in a different galaxy, and it opens them up to many different things that aren't in the original Star Wars. So it's almost like a different Star Wars.
Yeah, they
And-
say that, but it's the same people making it.
No, I'm watching it. It's not the same people. It's the people that, well, they did other Star Wars stuff. It's
It's the same people.
these are they're decent writers. I like these writers, and I like where Ahsoka's going, and I like the fact it does not feel like your typical Star Wars show. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, you're welcome to give it a try if you want or not. You know Igor, but I would if you have nothing else better to do. If there's no baseball game on.
Okay, so I've got. Hold on, I gotta unmute this for a second.
It's about to get crazy over here. Close your ears.
Okay, so you were talking about Star Wars. So I never closed Twitch
Right.
when we started recording, and I still had my Mitch Jones stream open in the background. So during the raid, during the Blackwing Lair raid, he was talking to one of the other mages who got a drop, and
Oops.
what?
I said, oops.
You got a ring with like hit on it. It's good for mages. And this Mitch Jones guy was like, we got to make a deal. I'll pay you for your consumables. Like, can I get this ring from you? Because he desperately wants hit, right? And at one point, the guy said, so next time, like we'll make a deal. Like next time, something drops, like we can make a deal. Like we'll do a trade. Like I'll sell you the item, whatever. He's like, just like promote my stream. He said something like that. He's like, just call it my stream or something. Because I think he's a relatively small streamer. Let's see. He's got 469 followers. This guy, this other mage. So Mitch Jones just finished his stream and just raided him with 15,000 people. Raided his channel, and the guy's just like freaking out. It's funny.
That's nice.
So yeah, he's got went from like a dozen people watching to like thousands.
I hope he got some followers out of that. Do you know what ring he got?
I don't know off the top of my head. It's a spellcaster ring with hit on it. It's from one of the middle bosses. I feel like it was from like one of the drakes, one of the 3 drakes.
With hit on it?
Yeah. From Blackwing Lair.
Did we have hit back then?
Yeah,
I didn't
spell
think
hit.
we had hit.
Hit was the most important stat for most classes.
Interesting.
Go to Blackwing Lair. I see you with Atlas Loot open there. Go
I
to
know you
Blackwing
do.
Lair.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just a little lost. There we go.
Firemaw, Emon Rock, Flame Gore. Look at those. So let's see. Okay, go down. Try the other ones there. Oh, you're going too fast. I feel like there's a little delay here. Maybe it was Bloodlord. I don't know. There's a few rings. Oh, that one. Yeah, that
And
one.
the force concentration.
Yeah.
I remember that ring.
That was the contentious ring. So it went to one of the other mages because it's all about the hit because they keep getting the misses, the resists.
Yep.
And I mean they're still killing the bosses, but for individual DPS reasons, it's a
Yes.
thing.
So it's the one off of Evan Rock.
Yeah, and I don't think they didn't kill Nefarian. I don't think they even attempted him because they killed Chromagus, right? And they get that debuff where it like randomly stuns you for 10 seconds. Because remember we'd kill Chromagus and we get that debuff and we'd have to wait or use the sand
Yeah.
to get it off, and then we have to wait before doing Nefarian. They like waited the 10 minutes for the sand, and then I got up to make some food, and I came back and they were all not in Blackwing Lair anymore. So I think they must have bailed and not done Nefarian again. So still no complete clear of Blackwing Lair, but they killed up to Chromagus. I want to see some AQ40. I don't know if they're holding.
That would be neat.
Because they've been clearing like a couple select boxes in Nax. They've been doing Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, stuff like that. But like, yeah, I want to see some AQ40.
See, this whole thing led up to your plans when you hit 60.
Oh wow, this guy's followers. So I'm watching just out of curiosity on this guy's stream. So when he got raided, he had like 400 followers. He's up to almost 800 now. And he's still sitting at like 8,000 people watching his stream. That's so cool. I've lost Discord. Where did Discord? So I'll keep this is Grimmel GG. I don't know anything about this guy. I know absolutely nothing about him. Just that he didn't have a lot of followers before this. But I'm keeping an eye. I want to see what his followers go up to through this.
Grimmel, eh?
Yeah. So I've never watched his stream. I didn't know he existed. I don't even know what his voice sounds like, so I don't know if he's any good or not. But it was no, I do because I heard him talking in Discord, but during their raid. But that's besides the point. So, do we have anything else? Because I'm just kind of rambling about stuff I've been watching on Twitch.
Well, you're talking about what you're going to do at 60, and I'm assuming that I'm going to make it to 60 sometime.
Do you
It
assume
can
that?
happen.
That's
Yeah, might as well. You're assuming it, and it seems to be working. So I'm going to follow it.
I'm assuming it, but I'm level almost 53 right now. So I'm
anyway.
I've passed that. I've passed that difficulty point. As Bob says, everything's easy after level 40.
So what I'm trying to say is that we can transfer our characters if they die at that point to an era server. I kind of like the idea of possibly going back to some of these classic raids, and if we have high levels, if we can find our way into some.
Well, we just got to figure out what the right era server is. I think there's a couple era servers where people still raid the old content.
Probably Whitemane.
I don't know. Whitemane's the PvP server. I don't think it's a PvP server. There's another one. Oh no, that's not an era server. Because there's a server that that Classic Go is doing his thing on, where they try and raid. They're trying to raid the Nax stuff though, with level 60 characters. But that's not an era server. That's a different thing. Did you hear about that?
No, so they're just doing level 60 characters.
Well, yeah, they hit
Wrath
60.
server?
I think it must be on a Wrath server. It would have to be. So what they did is they hit 60. I think it starts with an M, the server. Maladath, maybe. So what they did is they hit 60, and then you go to the inn, and you can turn experience off. So they turned experience gains off, and they're gearing up, and they're seeing how far they can get, like with a raid force of level 60s. So they cleared like the classic era stuff. They're working on Burning Crusade, last I heard. I don't know if they're going to be able to kill any Wrath stuff, but like
they have Wrath talents then.
Well, yeah, they have Wrath talents, which is a big boost, and they have access to some extra gear. So like they're able to farm some level 60 Burning Crusade stuff with gem slots, and then you can use the epic gems. They're not level restricted, so you can use the top end gems and in those level 60 items, and it's a cool thing. But it's not on an era server, so that wouldn't work. But
sounds a little cheese, but not quite.
Well, I mean, you're also doing level 70 content at level 60, so you got to cheese things a little bit. Like it's
they're doing the TVC raids at level 60. Okay.
Yeah, I literally just said that.
No, well, I mean, you did, but I didn't know that they did. I didn't know that they didn't finish their 60 raids and then move up.
Oh, I think they did the 60 raids too. Like they're doing like a progression thing. Like they're working their way through the raids.
When you said they're doing TBC, I just assumed that they went back, they finished their 60 stuff, went up to 70, and are doing the TBC stuff like they did the classic.
Well, no, that would be too easy. They're doing it the difficult way.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
It does. Which would be cool. And I was like, oh man, I wish I could get in on that, but I don't feel like leveling another character on another server and all that stuff. But it does sound super cool. I can't even remember what server it was. I want to say Maladath, but I don't even know if that's a server. So I might be wrong.
I still have some 60s left over on Ash Candy.
What do I have over there? I think the highest thing I have over there is my 72 Rogue, 73 Rogue. I don't remember what level I got my Rogue up to.
Do you have anything that's 60 though?
No, I don't think so. Oh, wait, maybe on. Did we play Alliance on Ash Candy?
Yep.
I might then. I don't remember. I might. Oh, you know what? No, I don't. Because before we came back, my 60 Paladin, I ended up playing it in Burning Crusade, and then what did I do with that? What did I do with that Paladin? I think I wonder if he's still there, but he'd be in the 60s at least. What did I do? Because I didn't transfer him. Is he still there?
I don't know.
I don't remember. That's weird. I should check. Oh, Sam fell asleep. No, Sam's not asleep. She's on her phone. Bob was making fun of, remember last episode when you were using your phone for the camera? And
I wasn't using my phone as a camera.
you were using your phone. Yeah, your phone was camera last episode.
computer was.
No, your phone was.
I'm pretty sure it was my computer.
Well, you didn't have your phone in your hand either way because you were. Remember, at one point I was like, because you were just staring at your hands, and I was like, "Do you have? Are you pretending there's a phone in your hands?" Because I thought you missed your phone so much that you were just pretending you were on your phone.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Oh, I thought there was more to.
Well, no, that was what I was. I don't remember why I said that. I said that
last episode was just my phone. We were both on the same phone.
What was your phone doing? You were doing something with your phone.
I had the stream open.
Oh, right. You were watching the stream because we were streaming.
I was wrong. I didn't even have my computer open.
No, you didn't.
Because it kept knocking me out.
Yeah. So.
So what did that have to do with Bob?
He was listening to the podcast and he thought it was funny when I was like calling you out for pretending to use your phone because you missed your phone so much. Okay, so what else do we got? I don't know how long. See, this is the downside to recording with Craig. I can't see how long we've been talking for. I have no idea how long this has been going on for.
That's okay. No, I wouldn't mind hitting up an era server, doing some 60 stuff if we can find such a beast, because that was actually kind of fun. The only thing I hate about it is the constant farming. If we can somehow avoid that.
Well, that's the thing. Like as we're doing this, as this hardcore thing is going on, I'm doing this old content and I'm watching these old raids and I'm like, man, I really miss doing these raids. Like I miss doing Blackwing Lair, not so much Molten Core. Molten Core is kind of lame, but I miss doing Blackwing Lair. I kind of missed out on doing original classic Nax. So like it's all stuff that I'm like, oh man, I wish I was doing this. But do I want to do it hardcore?
No, well, I mean, you give it a try hardcore, you die, you just move over and you keep doing it on the same character.
I guess, but like, hold on, Sam, talk to Al for a minute. I gotta make a bathroom break.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Al.
So let's make this a legitimate part of the podcast. It doesn't have to edit out. So, Sam, what have you been doing?
Absolutely nothing. Oh, I can't even see you. What did you do?
I'm down in the bottom corner here.
Oh, just a second. What? I'm in the front room. I can't see Al. Not important.
Anyways, you can see me now, though, right?
Yeah, he has you small. You were big at one point.
I'm in the corner, but no, okay, that's fine.
No, he minimized your picture. That's why. I haven't done anything.
So, what do we have to do to get you back?
Oh, I did sign on to my priest, and I disenchanted stuff for you, and I sent it back.
Okay, cool. Is that classic or is that Wrath?
Wrath.
I don't think I sent you anything classic.
No, not classic. You sent me stuff to disenchant. I thought about going back to Wrath and just doing like tournament stuff. Not. Play some hardcore if you did it. Shh! I'm talking.
You know what's on? Brewfest. Brewfest is on.
Does it start already?
20th, 4 days ago.
How long? Till when?
Till tomorrow.
Seriously?
No. It'll be in the news, but you got lots of time.
Okay, so I should go back to that. I can't think of the word. Explorer, lore master. I just didn't want to play by myself.
Well, come over to hardcore.
No one else was on. I didn't want to play by myself. Josh was at work. I'm assuming you were at work because you weren't online.
Yeah, most of the time
I didn't want to play by myself. Do you want?
We need to get you back. We need you to have some content for us.
I think. Hold on. I think we need to, when we're all off at this. Oh, microphone. I think when we're all off at the same time, we should do hardcore with 3 characters. Do you have anything around a level 12, 11 or 12?
I have the 16, maybe 14.
What's your hunter?
I don't have a hunter.
You did?
It's on my banker tune. Okay, so yeah, I do have a. Okay, good. So I didn't die on a hunter. There we go. Go back.
What
He's
level is
11.
your hunter? Hold on. Let me
He's
pop up.
11.
That's exactly the same level that we are.
Yeah, I don't have a pet yet, so I need to get a pet.
You didn't do your pet quest at 10?
Yeah.
What the?
No, I did the pet quest, but I don't have a pet. I don't remember what happened to it. I guess when the quest is over, I have to go out and tame one for myself.
Well,
But
yeah.
I was playing with Bob, and I haven't played him again since. And Bob's up at like 39 or something like that. But when I head back out, and he's acting as my banker. When I
Bob
head
is?
back, no, Thandon, my hunter.
Why don't you, Sam? Why don't you get your computer booted up? And as soon as we're done recording, we could do a little hardcore.
I don't want to.
Why not? No, it's fine. Sam probably wants to go to bed. Do you working on tomorrow?
Yeah.
We should all quit our jobs.
Sam, you said you were sick, right?
I'm the only one who's not sick.
No, but you look sick.
But there is 54 residents in my building right now that have COVID. Should I just go kiss them all?
54, really?
54.
How many people are in your building?
130.
So it's like
30
almost
something.
half.
Well, don't kiss them. Don't get COVID. Just say you have it.
I have to show a positive test.
And her coworker that has a positive test is still going to work.
Should I kiss her?
If you want to.
Ooh, that sounds cool. So anyway,
So what?
so yeah, level 60. If we hit level 60, I want to keep
If?
these characters.
What's this
Well,
if you speak of?
Yeah, I know. Terrible.
There's no
Sorry.
if. There's no if.
When we hit level 60, we keep them. If we happen to die doing something stupid here, then we go to an era server, but we find some place we can go where every now and then we can log in and do a raid.
Well, here's the thing. If anyone listening knows, what is the classic era server that has raids going on and stuff? Like, there has to be a classic era server that has some raids, alliance side that we could transfer to if we hit 60 and then die.
I feel
The
like
if being the dying part, not the hitting 60 part. You think what?
for some reason I feel like it's Whitemane.
Well, I know Bloodsail that's a PvP server. I know it's super populated. Maybe they do raids there. I don't know. But I know Bloodsail is where they did the hardcore. So I don't know if there's a non-hardcore population on that server or not. I don't know. We'll find out. Someone will tell us. Somebody tell us. Let us know. So is this your hunter that you're on there now?
Yep.
So and this is a group that we're doing. This is a non-solo self-found group. So we can gear these guys up. We can get potions. We can get scrolls. We can do whatever we want with these guys. We can.
I can make him solo self-found. He's just been acting as a banker, but he doesn't have to reap any of the rewards.
We're grouping everything with them anyways, with the three of us. So that's already not solo self-found. We might as well just take advantage of these characters and have some fun. Use some of the gold that we've gotten on other characters. Do you mail your gold to your bank alt before you die? Like, do you regularly mail some off, or have you just not built any money up because you haven't been high enough?
All the money I build up is on my banker. If I
What's
get
your what's your
anything,
banker got?
well, right now it's like I just emptied my mailbox, so I have 1 gold, 42 silver.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah, I have no money. What I use right now, I'm just using any leather I get from my Rogue Skinner to make Hillman shoulders and sell them.
Oh, is that the thing for that quest?
No, I just literally make them and sell them to a vendor
Oh, okay.
because they're 12 silver. They're 12 silver each to get, and I can pick up these cure medium hides for about 4 to 5 if
Yeah.
I get it at the right time. I don't buy them any more than that, so I will be making at least 7 silver per Hillman shoulder. Actually, it sounds like it'd be 5.5 once I buy the salt and the thread. But I keep an eye on the auction house. Some people post their cured medium hide, which is not a hot commodity, so they post at a really low price with the bid. So since they don't get a lot of searches,
Well, what's the vendor price for a cured medium hide?
The vendor price is 2 silver.
Okay, so there's probably going to be people selling them for like 3 or 4, or are they more than that? You know what you should do? Just go out and kill stuff and skin it.
I am, but I'm not getting enough medium hide.
Oh,
I will definitely do that once I can start getting the hide. But in the meantime, I just go in here and they have some pretty good prices up here right now. I'll just bid on something and sit on it and wait. I got 20 of them for 60 silver.
so that's 3 silver each.
Was it 60 silver? Or maybe it was 16. I got a really good deal on 20 of them anyway.
20 for 16 silver would be a real good deal.
Yeah. It's like there's one here, 51 copper each for 5. I'll bid
See,
on
I think
that.
I'm up. I think I've got like 200 gold or something roughly.
Yeah. Now the cheapest buyout is at 5 silver, so I'm not going to buy any. Because I want to make a profit on the Hillman shoulders.
So what else is in this recipe?
Try medium leather and fine thread, but the cured
So
medium
fine
hide.
thread is a silver each, right?
Yes. And actually the 20 I got for that really good deal were cured already, so I saved 50 copper on buying the salt.
Oh.
And the leather, I just right now it's what my skinner's sending. So the leather is just what I get as I go.
Do you need
Right now I'm
rugged?
getting
Oh, you're just converting the light. This is on hardcore.
Never mind.
So you're just converting the light leather into medium leather. This is exciting conversation, by the way.
yeah.
So
Well,
if
it-
anyone playing hardcore wants to have an easy way to make a solid 7 silver several times a day, this is it.
Well, it's a vendor swap. It's one of the more profitable vendor swaps that I've discovered through a YouTuber. I forget what her name is, but
Wow. You're going to use the YouTuber's information and you can't even be bothered to name the person.
all right, you called me out, so I'm gonna go find out what her name is.
Ouch. That is harsh. So do we have any news or anything? Do we want to do a news segment? Do we
Bruise
care?
Fest.
Brewfest,
Well, there's
yeah,
lots of-
Brewfest is coming up.
It is World of Warcraft.
Already started.
Her name is Warcraft Champion.
Okay. So that is a YouTube.
Yeah, and she said, "Keep me up to date on how you're doing." All right, so is it time
Oh,
for the
did
news?
you like comment that you were using the swap?
Yep.
I don't know. I find it more efficient to just level up and kill things.
No, well, I'm leveling my rogue, but as you know, I have a hard time getting them past 20. So I'm
It is
stuck.
that's the hardest. The first 20 levels are the hardest, and rogue is the hardest class. I mean,
Uh.
you got all that working against you, right?
All right. That's true. Let's pause for news intro.
It's time for the news.
All right. So what news do we have?
All right, so apparently there was a lag issue on one of the EU servers.
Oh, I saw that.
Stitches. It lagged out. It had thousands of deaths. There's no recompense.
See,
Uh,
what they need to do in a situation like that, Blizzard needs to suck it up, admit that it's their problem, and roll the servers back. Like, if your server goes down or crashes and the result is, I think, 1,000 hardcore players die, roll the server back. It's a simple solution. And like, you don't need this whole nonsense. Oh, it's a death. You have to respect the death. No, it's not a legitimate death. It's a servers going down that caused you to die. It is no fault whatsoever of any of the players that died. Blizzard needs to not be stupid and just roll the servers back. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they acknowledge that, and in the last paragraph, which is, their paragraphs are usually one sentence each, but it says, "I understand losing characters to any technical issue is disappointing, but for a purpose of keeping this thread useful for the ongoing work to address the issue, please try to keep the discussion to currently experienced symptoms, and thank you for those already contributing to this info." So I decided I'll take a look at some of those comments, and they did not do that. They're all saying, "This is bullshit. You should be able to roll us back. You know, if we're dying because of your issues, then you got to fix it. So yeah, there should be.
Oh,
some
it
kinda-
is, and they absolutely have the power to roll it back. They're choosing to be stubborn and just not do it. It's just silly.
Well, because in their rollback of the thousands of deaths, they might get 1 or 2 people that legitimately died. Oh no.
Well, who cares? This is an extraordinary event. This is not a case where people are appealing deaths and they're picking and choosing who to grant appeals to, and it's not this whole slippery slope thing. Like this is not a death appeal. This is Blizzard had a server issue and they need to fix the problem that they caused.
Yeah. So there was other news about the sale of Blizzard to Microsoft, and apparently, I don't have the headline here, but their cloud services are fair, so it did not get blocked. CMA issues preliminary approval of restructured Activision Blizzard sale to Microsoft. So that's just quick news.
Super quick. Was there anything else? I feel like
Yep.
there was other things.
Oh, there's lots.
Oh, okay.
The Wrath Classic 3.4.3 PTR is out.
Yeah. My guild did PTR last week. I didn't go because I was sick and tired and had to work the next morning. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I wanted to go so badly.
They did a lot of fixes in this PTR. They're talking about things that they're going to implement. So there will be achievements added for the Gamma dungeons. Actually, there'll be achievements added for all of the different dungeons. And if you do them all, you get there's a meta achievement. You're going to get a ghostly pup companion. It's called Arphis.
Arphis?
Arphis, yeah.
That's lame.
Yeah. But I
Oh,
guess
boy.
he's some kind of mascot around their office. I just reading the article quickly. So they're finally putting it into the game. So remember when you first used Random Dungeon Finder, you got the pug?
Yeah.
But
I liked
now
the
they're-
bug.
Yeah, now this is if you do all of the heroic, alpha, beta, gamma. I don't know about heroic, but if you do alpha, beta, gamma, you're probably going to get an Arphis. So we might have to go back and finish those. Oculus.
Oh, we'll have to do Oculus. That stinks.
No, but even better. Oculus will apparently have 2 more.
To what?
Yeah, 2 extra Scourge Stones in the final chest.
they give extra stuff from Oculus just because
Yeah.
people hate Oculus.
That's in the Gamma. In the other dungeons of the Oculus, they'll offer 3 more Triumph Awards. And it says the Blue Drake will drop in all versions of the Oculus that you go into via the Random Dungeon Finder.
The Blue Drake that drops in Utgard Pinnacle?
No, that's a Proto Drake.
Oh, this is a different one?
Yeah.
Well,
So
here's
they
the
also-
thing. I'm still going to resist doing Oculus.
I need to do it at least 3 times just to finish up a lot of things. Come on, do it with me, buddy. Let's
Maybe.
bite that bullet and get it out of there.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I hate it so much.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fixes and adjustments they've made. I could read them all if you want.
No, that doesn't sound important. Is there anything
Yeah.
that sounds cool?
Well, you can no longer get into Burning Crusade heroics.
No? What? Why not?
Oh no, wait. No, it prevents. Sorry, you can now get into Burning Crusade heroics.
I could before. What does that mean?
I'm guessing through Random Dungeon Finder.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so these are fixes and adjustments to Random Dungeon Finder, I believe.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So there's a number of dot effects and deep wounds effects that were affected.
By the Random Dungeon Finder?
Yeah.
Why?
I might be wrong. It might not be about Random Dungeon Finder. It might just be in the. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You can read it.
Yeah, you hear that, everybody listening? Read it yourself.
Okay, let me go back and look at the title. I just made quick notes. This
Yeah.
is regarding the ICC testing resumes. Okay, so it's ICC testing, and that included Random Dungeon Finder.
Okay,
I
so they
don't-
fixed some stuff. Okay, that all sounds very interesting.
yeah, let's see if I can find something else that's actually the Random Dungeon Finder tool will no longer defaults
Are you ready for
to the role in your talent pane.
questions? We're queuing up the podcast questions while you meander through the news here.
Okay, so anyway, there's a lot. It's just a point form list, so you can check and see what they did.
Am I asking this one?
You can ask me that one.
Which one? Sure. I don't know.
I have a
Is that
feeling.
even a question? Is it the,
I have-
the GIF? The
Yeah.
GIF?
Yeah, that's the one I figured she'd point out to you. There was a bug with Uro.
Who? In AQ?
Uro, yes. So
He is a bug, isn't he?
yes, so there were many bugs, but no, apparently,
Someone reached
Some-
60.
sometimes he would fail to re-engage the raid after a wipe, which
Oh.
obviously doesn't count on a hardcore server.
Yeah.
And
Anyone else even doing it?
yeah, apparently, yeah. And apparently he may also spawn an additional copy of himself after coming out of a submerge phase.
Oh, that's fun. He was a
So-
big enough pain in the butt with just one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine 2 or even 3?
I
Is it
can
big
imagine
one?
wiping immediately.
Yeah, so
Oh, can you imagine if that happened on a hardcore raid?
Yeah.
If he
The-
submerged and then 2 pop out, just the cockroach scatter that
Yeah.
would result from that.
the developers
All the
strongly
Petri
advise
flasks going off at once.
they strongly advise not attempting Uro on hardcore realms until it is resolved. It's a likely
sounds about right.
guaranteed wipe.
Well, yeah.
I've not seen any news come up to say that they've fixed.
Well,
that
here's the
yet.
thing: Oro is an optional boss in AQ, so it's
Yeah.
pretty easy to just not do them.
So they've opened up ICC for a third round of testing, going from the 26th, so in 2 days, until the 29th.
Maybe I'll get in on that one.
There was some issue with line of sight when it comes to Saphiron.
Okay, I don't
I-
know the fight off the top of my head.
I can hear myself now. through you.
You can hear
Alright.
yourself. I can hear you as well.
I didn't hear myself before, but now it seems to try. Okay,
I
so
thought I was supposed to be able to hear you.
so just reading it word for word goes. Oh, that's only part of it. So apparently, people had line of sight issues when it came to the ice blocks in the Saphiron fight.
Cool.
And Blizzard said, well, this is how line of sight works with temporary objects like ice blocks and is not a bug. You must turn off your auto attack. If the ice block is close enough to the boss for you to melee, it will not block line of sight.
Oh yeah,
heard-
that was a thing in Nax as well. On oh, you said Sapphire. Are you talking about Nax?
Wherever Saphiron is.
Yeah, that's in
Nax,
Nax.
yeah.
That's
Don't I
been
sound
known
like-
for a long time. Everyone
Don't
always
I-
says don't ice block too close to Sephiron.
It says the original intent is to prevent situations where you get behind an ice block in melee, but still be able to hit the boss while in safety.
Yeah, that's
As a
not a,
result-
that's been a thing forever. That's not a bug.
Yeah, as a result, if you're near an ice block and are attacking a creature, the ice block won't block LOS. So I guess they're getting hit. This has functioned this way since Saphiron from original World of Warcraft in 2006. They said stop whining about it, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's always been a thing. I didn't know people were still whining about that. That's just how that fight works.
Now, this isn't. That's it for the news from World of Warcraft. But I have other
Whew,
news.
it's about time.
I've been okay. So been following Guzo for a while.
It's
and I tell
nothing.
you-
It's nothing against you, but I got incredibly bored during that news and started playing my Hardcore Warrior.
Nice. Been following Guzu.
Does he know you're following? Did he get a restraining order?
No. But you know how he did his staff warrior, and I was kind of impressed. But
I've heard about it. I didn't know it
Bob-
was him that was doing it, but yeah.
Bob said he's been doing it since forever.
Yeah.
And I just shut down my Discord. There it is. So his staff warrior died.
Oh.
And as a result, he said that if his staff warrior dies, he will play Jump King. It's a video game called Jump King until he beats it.
What
And
is
he's-
it like a bad video game? I've never heard
Yeah,
of it.
he streamed that today. So I don't know if you can see what I'm putting up on my screen here.
I can see it. Is it like a
Yeah,
is it
this
like a what's I don't even remember what to call it.
this
is it
is
like a
him
platform
jumping
game?
around. Yeah, you're just jumping. And he played this for so many hours today. Like, look at his face.
Is that not what his face usually looks like?
No, he looks absolutely miserable.
Oh
Oh.
my.
I love it. Look at that one. He finally finished it. I think I have. Let me go back here to his Twitch.
And did people watch this the whole time? That seems terrible.
I watched a lot of it. I'll tell you, he's been on the same part of it for so long. But his stream is 10 and a half hours long. And 1
Oh,
hour
boy.
of that was reactions to videos. So 9.5 hours he played this game, and I was starting to feel bad. Like he looked like he was broken.
He felt bad. He was doing it. It was his fault.
He's just that last look at that last look right there.
Yes, that's the face of somebody who needs to just go to bed.
So that was it. That's all I got.
So that's the Guzu news.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
so-
if I make a recording of this for YouTube, I'll be putting his face up on the video at that point. Hope he doesn't mind.
I don't know. Is that like a copyright thing? I have no idea.
He's streaming it for the world. I don't know. We can even show portions of a movie if we're commenting about it.
Yeah, there's rules. You have to it's like a fair use thing. You have to transform or comment or something. I don't remember what the rules are. There's rules.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that's the news. So we're going to move on to podcast questions. We should have a podcast questions intro because we do this segment a lot. And it's like its own thing. But
We should make some kind of montage which reflects the invasion of the body snatchers because the bodies come out of pods, and make an intro like that.
yeah, we could. I don't understand the relevance, but yeah, we could.
It's just fun. Well, Sam,
Because they're pods and this is a podcast.
yeah, catch
Oh,
the
did
flies.
Sam just yawn in the background?
I covered
Yeah.
my mouth.
No, you didn't.
Well, I mean, you still yawned. So, Sam, would you like to start reading podcast questions? Or yeah, this is the podcast question segment. I don't know how to introduce it. It is what it is.
It's time
Enjoy.
for the podcast questions.
No, that's too close to something else I've heard recently.
Okay.
It's time for the news.
It's time. Well, yeah, obviously, Sam, obviously.
Sam is excited to talk about the podcast questions. Let's hear your questions, Sam.
So the first question is from Falcon Mick. And he says, I'm trying to think of podcast questions, and this is what keeps popping up in my head. And that's a GIF asking, why are you gay?
Alan?
Isn't it why are you so gay? Or is it just why
No,
are you
just
gay?
why
I don't
are
think
you
there's
gay?
so. I think it's just well, open it up and look at it, Al.
I am looking at it.
I was talking to Al. Yeah,
Well-
because he didn't believe you.
So I did
That
some
would be
research into this
difficult.
question this week.
You had to do research to answer this question?
Yeah, well, not actually being gay. It's hard to answer. So apparently, just because you have a lisp doesn't mean you're gay.
You have a lisp?
What kind of
But
list?
if you're gay, you have a lisp.
Is that how? I don't think
No.
that's how it works.
I asked the gay person.
Why did
that
we?
question.
Why did we allow Al to
That's
interact
not
with this kind of
true.
question?
Can
Hey.
we just ignore this question?
Hey, I asked the gay person this question, and that's the answer I got.
The answer you got to this question? Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay,
I thought Falcon Mick was just calling Al gay.
probably.
That was my best response. I can't answer it. I literally went and said to a coworker, and I said, "Okay, yeah." And I asked him.
Somebody asked me this. What do I say?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I said, "I want to give my best response." So there you go.
I feel like they were trolling you. They were griefing you because everything is griefing now. You got griefed
Yes.
down.
Okay, let's go to an actual question.
Yeah, let's move on to the actual podcast questions,
Wow.
not
Well-
the clearly rhetorical question.
Dimitri asks, what was your first video game you ever played? And what's your favorite 90s RPG?
Oh,
Well, my first, let's see if I can remember that far back, would be either, I don't know, maybe. So it'd have to be in an arcade. We used to have to get up and go somewhere to play our video games.
are we counting arcade games?
It says video game.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I'm talking like Mousetrap, Pac-Man, Wrestling games and arcades. If we're going to the first, if we're talking about
Wrestling
PC.
games.
If we're talking about PC, actually, let's go to PC because I actually have
Choose,
one.
yeah, I feel like PC is better, but choose whatever you want.
In the late 80s, maybe very extremely early 90s, I got a PC. First one, Tandy 1000. And I got an X-Men game. And that would be the first one I played.
X-Men?
Yes.
What was the X-Men game? I know they had
and
X-Men games that far back.
I knew you were going to ask. I'm going to figure out what it's called. Because I got through most of it. I got through some of it. I got through a little bit.
You played it
Um,
briefly, is what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I couldn't beat it all because I didn't have cheats back then.
You needed cheats to beat video games?
Yeah, Madness in Murder World.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure that would be it.
That's a weird game for an X-Man name. That's a weird name for an X-Man game.
Yeah, well, it's for the Tandy 1000. It's from 1989, so it fits the timeline.
All right. Yeah, no, that's
So I'll go with that. Now, if we go with my favorite 90s RPG, I got introduced to roleplay before that to a very small degree with somebody's homemade system. I got to play a flying squirrel.
So, you're talking pen and paper tabletop RPG?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking video game RPG.
They sound like two different questions, so I was going with video game, with pen and paper.
Oh, see, my assumption was video game RPG. But you answer it your way, I'll answer it my way.
Okay, so I looked up images for Madness in Murder World. It was that game. I really enjoyed that game.
I've never heard of it.
One of my favorite things to do when I had Nightcrawler was to teleport into things, and sometimes he teleported into a solid box and died.
Oh, that's fun. Good thing
Yeah.
it wasn't hardcore.
Yeah, right? Well, it kind of is. Once your character dies, you don't have him again until you play a new game.
So finish your favorite RPG.
So I played some homemade thing where I got to play a flying squirrel. The world had been through a nuclear attack, and some people had crossed with animals, and it was kind of cool. I got to jump from treetop to treetop. But going to official, when I hit university in 92, the first system I played was Rollmaster, which was a Tolkien-esque kind of world. And
Aren't they
I played a bit of a ninja kind of style character. It was kind of cool. Every now and then I get some of my chi and increase my strength a great amount and do some.
Gotta have that chi.
Yeah. I got a wicked sunblade that when the sun came out, it was on fire. It was pretty cool.
Wicked.
And then we went into D&D after that, and we played D&D. I played a few, I forget, might be called Rifts.
Rifts?
Yeah, I think that was the system, but I'm not entirely sure. My guy was kind of half cyborg, half human. I had the little guns that I can pull out of my hands.
Did you say half sideways, half Cuban?
Yes, totally.
That's a weird character concept, but I'm
Cyborg human.
going for it. Oh, cyborg Cuban.
Yes. Now, that might be Cyberpunk, but I'm not sure I actually played Cyberpunk. I don't know.
I played Shadow. What is it called? Shadow. Darn it! Why can't I remember what that system's called?
Oh, you know what? If we go with
Shadow
video game
something.
RPGs, I'll just add this in quickly. My video game RPG that I liked, which was mid to late 90s, was Shining Force 2.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's where we were going. I think we were going video game RPGs. But so, what was the question again, Sam?
Shining
repeat the
Force
question
2
so I
I
can
actually finished.
What was your first video game you ever played, and what's your favorite 90s RPG?
Okay, so first video game. So it depends, because I know when I was relatively young, we went to a babysitter. So like I'm talking like under 8 years old, somewhere between 4 and 8 years old. We had a babysitter. We would go to their house, and they had like a little like old school Atari with Pong. And I
Atari
remember
2600.
playing- It might have been. I think it might have been that. But they had Pong on that. So that's technically the first video game I ever played. But then in like shortly after that, so I must have been really young because I got a Nintendo in like, I want to say like 88 or so, 88 or 89. One of the original Nintendos.
But that's not the 90s.
He said, what was the first video game we ever played?
Oh, we're still on that.
It doesn't have to be in the 90s. And I got one of those, and I had Mario and Duck Hunt, and I played
Mario.
those. Yeah, that's what I said, Mario and Duck Hunt.
Mario.
And it's what I said, Mario and Duck Hunt. And I played those a lot. So they were probably the first like real video games. But I also had this weird little game. One of like probably I think the first game I got after Mario and Duck Hunt was called Rygar. And it's like this top-down game where you're this like weird little guy with like a yo-yo shield. And it's one of my fondest video game memories because I never beat it. It was such a hard game, but like it would switch back and forth level to level. It'd be like top down weird yo-yo guy. And then there were levels where it was a side scroller where you could like jump with your little yo-yo shield. And it was a really bizarre game. And years later, like I'm talking 4 or 5 years ago now, I was at a flea market and I saw a copy of the Rygar original NES video game cartridge, and I bought it. So I now
Right.
have Rygar,
When
but I
and
don't
where
have
is
a.
that?
When is it? Right now, in the basement. It's in the basement. I still
It's a
have
good
it,
place to store it.
but I don't have the Nintendo that we have isn't super functional, so I'm not able to play it right now because we have
Yeah.
one of the. Ooh, man, I got to pay attention. I'm playing my Hardcore Warrior, and I'm
yeah,
just kind
how
of
about you off and
running
pay
mob to mob.
attention and
I
be
am
with
paying
us?
attention. The thing I'm not paying attention is to my warrior, and I just realized I'm going mob to mob and almost died. So yeah, Rygar was cool, and it was one of the first. So I'm going to list that as one of the first.
I
But
don't see you
favorite,
online at all.
what? You don't see it?
I don't see you online.
I'm on my Hardcore Warrior, but I'm going to log out here because Sam yelled at me. So favorite 90s RPG. I didn't know you were going to answer tabletop RPGs. I didn't play any tabletop RPGs. Oh, you know what? Oh, I might have played a little D&D second edition right at the very end of the 90s because
Thaco.
yeah, but that was right at the end of the 90s and I didn't play a ton of it. So, but what my answer was going to be my favorite 90s RPG by a wide margin was Final Fantasy 3. Now that is American or like North American Final Fantasy 3. I think it's Japanese Final Fantasy 5 or 6. It's the one with the espers and the castle that can travel through the sand and like what were the characters' name? It was the good one. It was the really good one. It was the one with the espers though, and the Magica. Oh, was it Magica? It had espers. Anyways, that was an excellent game. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to make sure I'm not confusing several of them because there's different number systems.
I've never played a Final Fantasy game.
No?
I watched the movie that when it came out way back when.
So yeah, Final Fantasy 3 is the one. What are the characters' names?
Mac and Rose. Because the guy's got to have a one-syllable name and a girl has to be named after a flower.
No. No, see this is the wrong Final Fantasy 3. See, when I Google it, I get the Final Fantasy 3 with like the white mage and the black mage. This was the Final Fantasy 3 with the espers. So how do I Google that? Final Fantasy 3
With the espers.
NA. Because this was the North, because they had different numbering systems, North American and not.
Well, this says 6 here, but
Okay,
saying-
Final Fantasy 6 was also known as Final Fantasy 3 from its initial North American release, 1994 game. So that's the one that I'm talking about. So it's Final Fantasy 6 technically, but in North America on its original release, it was Final Fantasy 3. So that is the one with Terra and I don't know how to say her name, Celes. I don't remember how I pronounced it. And Locke, Cyan, those guys, Shadow the ninja, and it had the Esper magic where you had to like fight the Espers and get and gain their powers and stuff. That was best RPG game ever made. I think nobody's topped it since. That game was perfect.
Nice.
And was Final Fantasy VII, was that still in the 90s? I feel like that was post 90s.
I was out of video games at that time because I got in trouble for how much I
Final
played Shining
Fantasy
Force.
VII. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII was 1997. So yeah, because I got that my first job. Well, no, not my first job because I had like lawn cutting and paper routes and stuff. But my first job with a regular paycheck, I was working at a donut shop. And one of my first paychecks I went to the Sony store because they had Sony stores. And I bought myself a PlayStation 1 with Final Fantasy VII. That game, second best RPG ever made. That game's awesome. But here's the thing. So at this point, I was a lifelong console gamer, Super Nintendo and Nintendo, a little bit of Sega, but not a lot. I didn't have a Sega personally. My friend had a Sega. I would go to his place and I would play Sonic and Star Fox and stuff. But I had never had a PlayStation before, mainly because PlayStation didn't exist before PlayStation 1. So I got myself a PlayStation 1 and Final Fantasy VII, and I went home and I started playing, and I was like, this is amazing. And I played for like 7 hours straight. I'm not even kidding. And finally, I got to the point where I realized I should probably go to bed at some point in my life. So I went to save my game, and it instructed me to insert a memory card into the PlayStation. And I did not know that was a thing. And I looked at my PlayStation and I was like, oh, that's what those little slots above the controllers are for, I guess. That's where you insert your memory card. And I did not have a memory card. And I did not want to lose my 7 hours of progress into this game. And it was now like, I don't know, 1 a.m. on a Friday night. And the Sony store, for some reason that just defies logic, was not open on the weekend. So I had to keep my PlayStation powered on for the entire weekend until I was able to get down to the Sony store on Monday morning and buy a memory card. In fact, I think I was definitely still in high school then. I actually think I had to wait until after school on Monday before I could go get a memory card. So I had to keep the game. I think I was halfway through the game, maybe 3/4 of the way through the game before I finally got a memory card.
Could you imagine
and was able
if
to
the
save.
power went out?
Well, that's what I was scared of. I was like, what if, like, I had my own like room in the attic at this point, and I had like a lock on my door, and I was like, nobody better go up there. If the power goes out, someone's gonna get told off. But I was in a panic the entire weekend. Like, this game had better not shut down because I didn't want to start from the, I don't know, 16 or 17. I was, I don't know, in age, roughly.
16 or 17 works.
Yeah. But I managed to finally get a memory card for like, I don't know, like $60. Like, it was stupid expensive.
Holy Sugar Ray Leonard.
And save my game. And then I was finally able to shut my very warm at this point PlayStation down.
$60.
I don't know. Probably. I mean, it was too much.
And it didn't measure in the gigabytes, did it?
Mm-mm.
It's in the megabytes.
No, it had like a handful of save slots. Like, it wasn't even like it is now. There wasn't like a size measurement.
It looked like a very small cartridge.
Yeah, it looked like it looked like, you remember Game Boys? It looked like a Game Boy cartridge. It was about that size and shape, roughly.
I never had a Game Boy. I kind of got, like, all that stuff came out at the age where I was just getting out of gaming. I guess actually thinking back to 97, I was partying more than I was gaming.
You got out of gaming? What was wrong with you?
I actually became a little cool.
Time.
No.
No, that came much
No,
later.
that
That was until he was in his
was,
30s.
No, but close. No, that would be 98.
Oh, so
98.
that was probably around the time where I was playing Final Fantasy VII. I was
Yeah.
much younger than you. So
Well,
yeah,
I was
so that
I was actually had a bit of a cool period where I was the geek of the cool kids, but we had a lot of parties.
Are you sure you were cool? Did you have like your license?
No, I had other people around me that did.
Wow, I'm just wondering what would possess people to tell you were cool. Like, what did they want from you?
Well, because I didn't have a license, I had an age of majority card.
Oh, okay. See, there you go.
But I also had friends. We talked about this before. I worked at the movie theater. We had a really good tight group, and we partied all the time. You know, I never really thought about this, but no, we partied all the time. We got together all the time, even after work. No wonder I never had any money after my paydays.
Exactly.
We
Buying all your
were-
younger friends booze.
We were boozing it. We were at restaurants after work, just buying appetizers like crazy. Those was the
That's where
good
they get
drink
you.
did.
They get you with the appetizers.
Yeah.
So what's
And
the next
no.
question? We should move through these questions because I feel like we've got a few, and I'm like steadily losing my voice. Like it hurts
Your voice
after.
Sounds fine.
Well, no, but
you're
like
not losing
as soon as I start talking, I feel the urge to cough, and I have to fight it, and it actually hurts.
Every time I cough, I risk losing control of my bladder.
So what's the next question?
Okay, so we're moving on, so I don't get to answer the question. The next
Oh,
question
no, do
is,
you wanna-
what phone?
Well, Sam,
what
hold on.
phones are we rocking?
What was your first video game?
I don't know. Probably what you said,
Mario.
Mario.
Do you
Mario.
know what a 90s RPG is?
No.
See, that's the question I was stuck on. I was like, Sam won't have an answer to that. So
Role playing game.
Well, I know what RPG stands for.
Okay, don't
here's the
yell at
thing:
me.
I was trying to be clever, and I was googling like rocket propelled grenade models from the 90s, and I couldn't find one to use as my answer, so I just went with the normal thing. So what is the next? Oh, what phones are we rocking?
Yeah.
Did you play any story based games when you were younger?
No.
No, Sam was always out with her friends.
Right? I did that. I
the
did that in
90s?
the 90s.
Sam was in grade 5. at
Sam
the
was
end of
still
the 90s.
rocking her dad's shorts.
That's gross.
That's weird. No, Sam was born in the 90s, so she didn't do
Oh.
much.
Something's on fire. Can you see me?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I could see you, but I don't know what the significance is.
Look at the guy's crotches on fire.
Oh, in game, I was looking at you, not your character. So what phones are we rocking? I've got a Samsung 20 FE. Samsung.
Made of iron.
Yeah, I think so.
I have an S10 Plus Samsung.
Are people able to use this information to like hack us or something? Like,
They don't know our phone number.
I guess. What's your phone, Al?
It's a
Samsung
Samsung.
S20. I think S20 FE.
Oh,
Is that's what I think it's an S20 FE.
I don't know.
we're not.
Isn't yours like an A? Samsung A something?
Probably. It's
We're
a
not one
Samsung.
of the cool kids. We don't have iPhones.
Oh, I hate iPhones. I don't want an iPhone. That's the most useless thing. I refuse to use Apple products.
Next
An
question.
apple a day keeps the doctor away.
No, an Apple a day would cost you like $1,000 minimum.
A day.
Apple products, they're stupid prices. So what's the next one?
If you could live anywhere in Canada, where would it be and why? This came from Drunko.
Don't say his preference. Let's answer first.
I don't know. I'd have to visit a little bit of Canada to be able to answer that. Right now, if I could move somewhere, no, I don't know. I'm kind of split. I don't know.
What about
Don't
you?
say Ontario. Ontario's lame.
Well, I mean,
Well, we're talking about Canada, right? Isn't most of Canada lame?
No, Saskatchewan's the
Yes.
worst.
we're not, and also we're not talking about based on proximity to any people. We're like if you could live anywhere just because it's a cool place.
Yeah, well, I was thinking proximity to people as well, but
Because I like if
Cool
you're going to say
place.
London, don't say London. That is the crappiest city in the world.
it is. I would move somewhere close to London.
No, don't use that. We're not doing a proximity to people thing. We're doing your fantasy location.
If children and nothing wasn't involved, where in Canada would you move? If it was just you,
You don't have to have seen it. Just somewhere
What
that you think is nice.
place were you like, oh, I would love to visit there. Let's move there.
Yeah, you guys can stop explaining it now.
Well, just
you
because as
figured
soon
it
as we
like you
asked,
weren't
I knew you were going to
doing what
go.
we're
I knew
talking
you were
about.
tempted to say London.
well, that
and
was
London
right
is
at
a-
the very beginning.
London's a crappy
And-
place to live, so
no,
pick somewhere nice.
I almost picked London, but then I realized that takes me further away from my one daughter.
Yes, stop accounting for that. Fantasy place.
I
Where do you
would-
want to live?
I would pick a place.
Which
So I don't have a name. So this would be my criteria of the place because it's Canada. We're gonna have snow. We're gonna have winter. So I'm not going to pick a place to avoid that. I'm gonna pick a place that would have a number of different things that I want. So flea markets, toy stores, summer place to go camping.
That's not the question.
You've described the entire country at this point.
That's my answer to the question, though, Sam. We gotta take it or leave it.
Okay, Josh, go.
Wow, Sam.
Well, Sam's irritable. She's had a long day.
She's been bitter a number of episodes, and I wish she wasn't.
Well, it's because we always record when she gets home from work, and she's bitter from being at work. My pick, I've got two. I don't like the middle of the country particularly. I mean, it's fine, but like, it is what it is. I don't want to live in Alberta because there's a bunch of Alberta people in Alberta. I would choose either BC
Ew.
or Nova Scotia.
BC's on fire right now.
See, that's what kind of gets me on BC. But here's the thing with BC. You've got temperate climates. So if you're in like Vancouver, Victoria area, not in Vancouver, Victoria, because like it's kind of iffy being in the cities. But like that part of the country, like if you could be outside of the cities in that area, the winters don't get super cold and the summers don't get super hot because you've got the ocean there keeping things kind of temperate. You get a fair
So-
amount of rain, like it's not super dry. It's just like
They get
that's
snow?
they get snow, but it doesn't get like bitterly cold.
So the majority of the season is fall.
It's well, I mean, as close as you can get to that in Canada, probably.
Yeah.
And then
It's
my
also
other,
really expensive to live in.
yeah, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the practical
Nova Scotia.
things. Nova Scotia is my second choice because, like, again, it's a coast, but I can't help but do this whole thing in my head where, like, as the climate changes, they're going to be hit by a lot of storms and hurricanes, and like, it's going to be iffy there. It also gets stupid cold in the winter, especially inland a bit. Like it doesn't seem to be as protected as BC is from the extreme temperatures.
Yeah,
I think,
see-
anyways. I know New Brunswick gets stupid cold. Maybe Nova Scotia doesn't as much, but it's really nice there.
See, I think the difficulty in this question was saying, where would we like to live in Canada? Where I've not explored much of Canada, so I really don't know where I'd go.
Where would you like
outside
to
of,
live in the world then?
Well, that's a different question, which would take more research. But
Research, just make something up. Pick a place that you think would be nice and just say it. Be spontaneous, Al.
I'm trying. I have to think about my spontaneity.
You want to suddenly move to Cuba? Move to Cuba.
Ew.
They're a little bit rough right now. I would say, I don't want to say Florida because we all know
No,
there's
Yeah.
nobody wants to live in Florida.
Jamaica maybe.
I know very little about Jamaica.
Me too.
They have an awesome bobsled team, but aside from that, like I don't know. They do rum well, I believe.
Who's Rumwell?
They do
I know.
rum.
I know who Rumlow is.
They do rum well. Yeah, I know very little about Jamaica, like geographically. I know where it
Well,
is.
Just I'm thinking back. I think my brother was going to move there because he can get property pretty cheap and he can live there a good portion of the year without losing a lot of his Canadian privileges. And there's a lot of people out there, so we might still be surrounded by our kind. Quote
Okay,
unquote.
Al.
I did air quotes. Our kind is
Nobody
in,
can see your air quotes.
as in fellow Canadians. not a
Yeah,
race.
That's not what you
that's
meant.
totally what that meant.
Okay. No, it's not what I meant.
Okay, next question.
It's absolutely not what I meant. I
Mm.
did mean Canadians. A lot of Canadians, a lot of foreigners over there. So, yeah, that's it.
So Jamaica or London? Did you answer?
No, Al wouldn't stop talking.
Oh, okay. He stopped talking now. Where would you like to live, Angry Sam?
Well,
Preferably in Canada, but if you want to go worldwide. I hear the drinking age is younger in Banff.
I was actually saying that I would like to go back to Banff.
It's nice there. It's in Alberta, though.
I wouldn't throw
but it's in the
up.
mountains of Alberta.
Yeah, it's nice. Have you ever been there?
No.
It's nice there.
Do you want to know what the farthest west I've been in Canada?
Where?
London.
Oh.
It was gross.
Bet you it smells nicer than Hamilton.
Yeah, it doesn't really have an odor. It just has an aura of sadness about it.
Yeah.
Just concrete molded sadness.
But Nova Scotia would be my other pick.
I do like Nova Scotia. What was I going to say? I hope nobody listening lives in London, Ontario.
Al's daughter.
She doesn't listen. Does she? Nope.
Sorry, it's my turn to talk.
Oh, no. Sam was saying something about your daughter.
And then we asked you a question and then you ignored us.
I said, I hope nobody listening lives in London. And Sam said something about your daughter listening. And I was like, I don't think she actually listens. Does she?
Oh, she might.
But you're going with Nova Scotia or Banff?
For Banff.
What's the next question?
From Blazing Bob.
Oh, fancy.
Will Alan survive long enough to get a run into Hardcore Dungeon this week?
Did he ask that before he knew you died the other day?
Oh, sorry. Is that me again?
Okay, I'm done. Can we just end the podcast?
Yeah, we had to do. Do you want to repeat the question?
No, I don't.
What was it? What was the question?
Will Alan survive long enough to get a run in Hardcore Dungeon this week?
And I said, did he ask that before he knew Al died?
Yeah, I was asked after I died. I don't know if he knew.
Yeah,
But
that's funny.
given that this week is about to be closed, I guess it's possible. Remains to be seen.
This week's about to be closed?
It's Sunday night.
What was the question? Oh, about rating?
No,
Get a
getting into
dungeon
a
in this
dungeon run.
week.
Oh, into a dungeon run. Right. Now, who knows? Maybe someday. I mean, you only got to get to like 20 to do Dead Mines. So technically, you've gotten there once.
Well, damn it. I was told 18.
Well, you can do Dead Mines at 18, but apparently in the ship at the end, if you're level 18, you'll aggro the stuff from up a level. So it can cause all kinds of nonsense if you do it at 18. I think they recommend 20 just for safety reasons for hardcore.
Like
Just
stay
to,
really far back.
I mean, you could, yeah. And like have stuff pulled. But you got to go up for that one boss. You got to go up. I wonder if you'd aggro stuff going up to the boss that stuns you. Anyways, that should be our goal, to get you into Dead Mines. So what do we got next?
I
Someone
was
asked,
expecting to be almost ready for it, but now it looks like I got another 4 levels to go instead of 2.
Well, I mean, 4 levels isn't that bad at the level you're at. I mean, and you can. There's no reason you can't, other than aggroing on the ship at the end. And if it, like, say I was to go with you and like run you through, in air quotes, in my mid 50s, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you aggro the whole boat, as long as I was able to consecrate and snap the stuff off you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's going to kill me. So
Yeah, that's the thing. It has to be able to be peeled off of me.
yeah. I mean, I don't think anything in Dead Mines even barely hits me at this point. Although apparently you can die at level 60 in the engineer room because they'll just infinitely spawn the bots. So if you get into trouble with too many engineers and they keep spawning them, then anyone can get in trouble. So do we have any more questions?
yeah, someone asked, who is this Alan person?
No, who asked that?
Alan.
Oh, who is this Alan person?
Spelled differently.
Bob spelled Al's name wrong.
Yeah. Was that the last one?
No.
Oh man, we had a lot of
Um,
questions this week.
Vic asks thoughts on hardcore rating.
Oh, I feel like we talked about that a ton earlier.
Okay.
That probably answers his questions.
Bruisley asks, would you rather be stuck in traffic but find the perfect parking spot, or never hit traffic but always take forever to park? I know my answer.
What's your answer?
I'd rather never hit traffic. I hate traffic.
We don't have traffic.
Remember the time we were stuck in traffic from Mississauga all the way to Niagara Falls?
Yeah, like on the rare occasions
That
where we leave our
sucked.
city. Yeah, that stinks. But I don't know, because it depends how long I was stuck in traffic for. Because I don't like the stress of trying to find somewhere to park. So, I mean, I'd almost rather, if it's going to take me the same amount of time in the end either way, I'd rather waste that time stuck in traffic and just knowing that I'm going to be able to instantly park and not have to worry about it when I get there. I'd rather that than having a clear drive, knowing the whole time that, oh, parking's going to be a nightmare, and then not finding something and have it take me hours to park.
Yeah, I guess. I just hate traffic.
Where the hell do you go that takes hours to park?
It's a hypothetical question. To me, the question sounded like, if all things were equal time-wise, would you rather spend that time in traffic or trying to park? If I had the choice, I'd rather spend that time in traffic. If the options are 3 hours stuck in traffic or 10 minutes trying to find a parking spot, obviously I'm going to take the 10 minutes trying to find a parking spot. But like, if they're equal inconveniences, I find traffic more relaxing. Parking is stressful. Is your answer different?
Is that for me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the opposite.
I would just take less traffic because I already know where I'm going to park.
Well, no, but in this scenario, the parking is not secure. Like in this scenario, if you have no traffic, then parking is a nightmare.
It's never a nightmare.
Well, in this scenario, it is.
Like shopping at Christmas?
Shopping at Christmas is a nightmare, yes.
Well, no, then that's fine. I survived that. I just go right to the back. I don't look for the best parking spot. I just park in the back and walk up to the front. So I've already done that. I do that in real life. So that'd be my choice. I would have less traffic. I don't want to be driving at 100 kilometers an hour around stupid people. I'd much rather be in a parking lot where if they hit me, it's going to cause damage to my car and not kill me. Gives me room to be stupid without killing somebody. So it's already the way I do it. I would much rather have less traffic, easy parking.
Okay, so your answer is neither.
No, I
You just
pick
said
less traffic.
and easy parking.
I know I said that, but it's easy because I just go right to the back. I don't
That's
look
not the
for
question.
anything.
Okay, so Al would like to take the easy traffic, easy parking option.
I go for less traffic is what I'm going to lean on for that. Less traffic.
Okay, so less traffic for Al. Is there any more?
No.
That's the end of the questions. So I feel like we've been doing this for about 2 hours. And I feel like Sam is ready to be done. Sam was probably ready to be done a long time ago. Are you mad, Sam?
No,
You look mad.
I'm fine.
Oh, yeah, we're all tired. Everybody's annoyed. So
That's
we should.
outrageous.
Yes. You gotta say your bit, Sam.
I didn't hear him.
He said that's
Every
outrageous.
time.
Oh, you people.
What do you mean, you people?